Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is open up your internet browser. So you can see I'm going up to Firefox here, or if you've got Internet Explorer, that'll do as well. And then you need to go to the address where CENET is. So up to the address bar, and you can see I'm typing in the address at the bottom of your screen: mccarthy.cepara.catholic.edu.au. It's important to remember the CE para bit. And once you've typed that in, that takes you to this fancy looking website. And you can see that there's all this kind of stuff. But really, we need to add My Desktop onto the end of that to get to where we want to go in the CENET area. This will come up asking for a username and password. Now, if this is the first time you've logged on, it won't remember you. So you've got to remember that your username is your first initial followed by your last name. So K Heggett, or M Edwards, or E Heggett, or G Delaney. Your password is just the first 5 letters of your first name. If you don't have 5 letters, make up the rest of it with zeros. If you have troubles with this, make sure that you talk to your teacher. Once we've typed that in, it'll check our details, and then it'll take us on to CENET proper. And this is what CENET looks like. You can see up the top there it says McCarthy Catholic College, and because I'm pretending to be Mr. Trefoni, it says hello Glenn Trefoni. And you've got a menu bar across the top with the school website, My Desktop, My Classes, My Mail and My Wiki. There's a calendar, and make sure you pay attention to the acceptable use policies, because you must remember that you're using the school's equipment and you must use it correctly. Now the ones we're going to use are going to be My Desktop and My Classes, so I want you to click on My Classes. You'll see there's some information across the menu bar there for you, with all your classes, and interesting enough you can change your theme. So if you click on Settings and Theme, you can see at the moment we're in the Chameleon theme. And after you've clicked on the Chameleon theme, you'll see that it's all changed and it looks much brighter and much more colourful. Like I said, it's mostly for primary school kids. There's also a tranquil theme and an accessible one. If you're accessing it via a handheld device or something like that, you might want to have a look at the accessible theme. My personal preference is for the very first theme, the Chameleon theme. I just think that looks the cleanest and the most simple. So those are all found via the Settings menu. There's also your profile there. I'll let you have a look at that for yourself. So we move it back to the Chameleon theme. Now most of the important information is actually covered in the McCarthy Catholic College section where I just clicked. And you can see all your classes are there, including HSC or my own work, which we'll be working on today. And right down the bottom, where it's hard to see, TTC Business Studies. Now this is one that Mr. Heggett created for you, just to show you what a good CENET page should look like. So we've got a picture, we've got the class calendar there with no events, so Mr. Heggett needs to add some of those. We've got 2 notices on the notice board, which I'm sure you can see. Make sure you read them. Some useful websites, and it's as simple as clicking on them. So this takes you to mrheggett.com, and if you see on mrheggett.com, there's lots of really good educational resources, some for teachers and even more for students. I recommend all of you, even if you don't take business studies, to have a look at that. There's also another website called Board of Studies and a government business website. Mr. Heggett will add to those as he goes on. You'll also notice that there's a section called Class Files. And these are where Mr. Heggett's uploaded all the files that he's used, all the documents he's used in his lessons over the course of the week. All you do is just click on it to download it and save the file to your desktop. And that way you've got all the notes from the lectures. It's no substitute for taking notes during Mr. Heggett's lessons though. Finally, you'll notice something called an e-learning folio, or an ELF. And you can click on it and it opens up the image here. And you can see this is an online lesson for business studies. And it sets out what Mr. Heggett wants you to do during the online lesson. Now, if there's time, you might want to have a look at this during the course of today. But if there's not time today, don't worry about it too much. Mr. Heggett's going to not expect this handed in for a couple of weeks yet. Now, it's important that you know how to submit things online, and you do that by clicking the submit button there. What you do is you browse to where you've saved your file on your computer, and then you hit submit. Oops. And you can also add a little note. So if it's late, you can explain why it might be late. And then you hit submit. Okay, back to the class. It takes us back to our business studies page. And if we hit my classes up here, it'll take us back to the my classes page. So back into McCarthy Catholic College. And we'll have a look at the HSC All My Own Work page, which is here. Now this is the work we're going to be working on today. You can see there's lots and lots of activities, but the most important part are the quizzes. So what you need to do during the course of this lesson is download the quizzes, save the answers after you read the material, and then submit it. And you can see there's the Module 1 quiz just there. And you just save it on your desktop, fill in the answers as you go through, and then submit it the way I've shown you before by hitting the submit button. On the left hand side in the class files, you can see all the readings that you need. And really, you've seen pretty much all there is to CENET. My mail and my wiki will probably be using at a later date, but certainly not at the moment.